Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Villarreal against Real Madrid. It is currently 3:42 a.m. when I'm recording this, so I'm gonna keep my tone down, and I'll try to keep this short, sweet, simple, whatever you wanna call it. Real Madrid go away to Villarreal at the Ceramica. A really tough place to go historically, um, in terms of as a ground. It is obviously a tough place to go, but I think Real Madrid tend to do pretty well there. I know Villarreal are, I believe fourth. I want to say. Oh, they are still third. I thought they might have dropped down. They haven't. Um, Despite obviously having a game less than everyone else because they had one game postponed. I think due to weather conditions, if I'm not wrong. And they also played one of the games, I believe, in the cup instead. So they were essentially two games behind, but they caught up now, and they're still one game behind, but they've, you know, um, get to play. But they are on 41 points, which is 7 behind Real Madrid, 8 behind Barcelona, level on points with Atletico Madrid. Um, and ideally, they want to win this game, of course. But I think, you know, that's where we have to look at Villarreal, right? They are the talk of the town because they are third in La Liga. Impressive, right? We saw this with Athletic Club in the past. We saw it with Girona a couple of years ago. Um, Many teams have tend to sort of make their presence known in terms of they are not your traditional top three. So Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, but they are sort of punching above their weight, and they are doing well. Don't get me wrong, 41 points, 2 draws, 4 losses, 13 wins, good record. But they are also 35th in the Champions League standings, right? With just 1 point in 7 games, and that was a draw, which means they are now out of the Champions League after the last game, and they might not even win a game. Um, their last game is against um, Bayern Leverkusen away from home, so that's going to be a tough game. I don't understand how the Champions League form is so terrible compared to their La Liga one. Um, I do think they are sort of overachieving and doing too well in La Liga. But in general, I feel like they are a good side, but I don't think being third is where they would have imagined they would be right now. Um, Although that being said, they did finish fifth last season. So yeah, they have been making progress in the last couple of years, but still, I think third is a lot to bear. But obviously, La Liga teams, when Real Madrid play against other teams in La Liga, I can tell you one thing's for sure: a lot of these teams play super low defensive blocks, and they also like to double or triple up on Mbappe or Vinny Jr. and they make it really tough, which is why Real Madrid struggle a lot of the times in La Liga to win games and to score goals because these teams play so defensively. And our weakness, to be fair, going forward is struggling to break down low defensive blocks. So we struggle. Whereas Real Madrid play Monaco. Monaco are a very good side. They would probably be a top 5 team in La Liga if we put them in La Liga. But Real Madrid's got 6 goals and won comfortably because why? The way Monaco played suited Real Madrid so much. They were coming at us. They were open at the back. They were leaving spaces in behind, and you could get past them through the wings or centrally. And I don't see Real Madrid in La Liga winning 6-1. I don't, right? unless the team is just terrible defensively that we're playing against. But I don't think that's Villarreal. I don't think that's many teams, to be fair. I think we will struggle more in La Liga. But I am not expecting 6-1, 5-0, 4-0 wins every game. I want to see better performances in general. I want to see a much improved, um, obviously performance, but results. I want to see the mentality and the mindset and the reaction from the players, the hungry nature, the what's the word? Hungriness? Is that a word? I don't know. Um, just the players being more hungry, basically. I want to see that more, right? Because without, if you look at the counter, the streak, 2 wins in a row, right? I've been saying this. Real Madrid need 10 to 15 wins for us to really believe in this team, right? And if you look at the next 10 or so games before the Madrid derby game, it's not terrible. I said this in my Monaco review. Go and check it out if you guys haven't already. The next games coming up is Villarreal away, Benfica away, Rayo Vallecano home, Valencia away, Real Sociedad at home, Osasuna away, Getafe at home, Celta Vigo away, and Elche at home, right? You should be on paper winning every one of those games. There's no reason to suggest not to. And then Madrid derby is at home, Mallorca away, Girona at home. Like, there are games in the next 10 to 15 that Real Madrid should be winning. Whether Real Madrid win, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. It might not. But we have to do it regardless. We have to believe in it, right? If you don't believe in it, you're never going to do it. So, I see the next 10 games as crucial. I think it's must wins, definitely for sure. And where we go from there afterwards is, I don't know. But, the Benfica game, it's going to be huge, right? Win that, you might not get top 2, which would be ideal, but at least you get third or fourth or wherever we finish. You get in the top 8, and you don't have to play the stupid playoffs that we had to do last season. That's terrible. You're just playing 2 more games for no reason. Um, so there's that. And afterwards, it's La Liga all the way, Real Madrid out of the Copa del Rey, and yeah, it's basically going to be 2 competitions to focus on from now on. So, look, there's no excuses for these group of players to not be winning most, if not all, of those games that I listed. You have got some of the best players in the world that have proven time and time again they can win games, they can win big games, in big finals. But the one thing that's missing is mentality and consistency, right? You know, we need this. We need to build on something, because you can win 1 game, you can win 2 games, you can win 3 games, but if you suddenly go and draw another game or you lose a game, what's the point? Right? I said this for our Clasico, right? If you beat Barcelona, but you go and drop points to Rayo Vallecano, to Elche, what's the point of winning our Clasico? And that was proven. But now, Barcelona, they lost to Real Sociedad away. The gap is back to 1 point. Is it possible? Definitely. But why and how will it be possible if these players wake up and start being consistent? Win this game against Villarreal, get the Champions League group stage done and over with a win, then you move on afterwards and start to win more games as well, right? These are the games that you need to be winning every game from now on. So I'm expecting that. Like I said, what I expect and what we will get is going to be different probably. I hope not, but it might well be different. But we cannot set the bar lower and set expectations lower, because we know these players are going to, mess it up. Even if they do, win the next game, right? It doesn't matter. We have to keep winning. And I'm not going to say, oh, we can afford to draw against Villarreal because they are third. No. They are punching above their weight and we are below. our expectations and where we should be. So I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to give that. But for me right now, I'm looking at this game as a must win. Villarreal, like I said, they're third, but they're also 35th in the Champions League. So it's a side that you can win. We beat them earlier this season. It was actually one of the last few games that Vinny Jr. scored in before he went on his drought. But he's back, hopefully at least for good. Um, but yeah, in terms of that, I'm not gonna go through Villarreal's form because it's really mixed, right? I mean, they did lose to Ajax. I think they beat Levante, didn't they? Their last home game in La Liga. Then they lost to Real Betis in between. No, they beat Alaves. Sorry. In La Liga. They beat Elche. They lost to Barcelona at home. Um, yeah, they lost to Copenhagen at home. They beat Getafe. Like in La Liga, they're winning. In the Champions League, they're losing. So what do we expect, right? I don't see it as, white and black. I don't see it as, oh, it's La Liga, so they're gonna turn up, right? Ultimately, we need to expect Real Madrid to turn up as well for it to be a competitive game. Um, and if Real Madrid do turn up, we should be winning. Anyways, starting 11, I'm gonna go with my predicted unchanged 11. So for the Monaco game, this was the exact 11 I went with. And I'm going to go through a couple of dilemmas in terms of the team that could be put out and what it probably would be put out. But in general, selecting this team is tough right now. So in terms of injuries, Mendy I think is out. Trent is going to be out still for another week. He could be back for Benfica. If not, he will be back next weekend for Rayo Vallecano, I believe. So it's one or the other. It will obviously depend on when he returns to training and whatever. Militao still out. I think that's going to be a longer term one. And Rudiger is still out, presumably for the next couple of weeks as well. And I think everyone else should be fully fit. Rodrigo's now back as well. But yeah, everyone else should be fit and ready to go. Starting 11. Courtois in goal. Carreras left back is the first, sort of 50-50. I don't see it as a 50-50 myself, but the reason why it could be is, could Camavinga play left back? He could. I thought he played really well against Monaco, and could that be an option? It could. I don't want to see that though. I think Carreras is a natural left back. He's our best left back that we have. That's a no-brainer. And Camavinga in the midfield, in the double pivot with Chouameni, is just so much better. So we have to keep that going. One game should not, make our bed. It should not make our 11, right? We shouldn't copy and paste what we did against Monaco because every game is different. And for me, Carreras is still the long-term left-back solution. It's not Camavinga. It's not It's not Fran Garcia. It's not Mendy. It is Carreras at left-back. Speaking of Dean Huijsen, he is in next to Raul Asensio. And then I've got Fede Valverde at right back. I still think Carvajal is going to be not rested because he hasn't really played, but protected and limited to minutes. He might make a cameo off the bench, but for what I know, he should probably be benched. Valverde is playing pretty well at the moment at right back, so I don't see a need to change that. And then in the midfield, we have got a dilemma again. So, like I said, the only reason why Camavinga is going to play left back is because Arbeloa might want Bellingham, Chouameni and Goulet. No. Obviously it worked against Monaco, but it doesn't work in most games. There's not enough balance in that midfield. So Camavinga and Chouameni has to be the midfield double, and it's who you play next to them that is going to matter. I'm going to go back to what Xabi Alonso figured out. Towards the end of Xabi Alonso's career at Real Madrid, his spell, he realized that he could not go with Bellingham, Tchouaméni, and Goulet because it wasn't balanced enough. So he then decided, yes, let's start Camavinga next to Tchouaméni and one or the other. And it sort of worked, right? And I think that's how it's going to have to be going forward. You're going to have to sacrifice someone. Now, in this instance, I've got Bellingham. Does he deserve to be benched after the game against Monaco? No. Does Arda Güler deserve to be benched? No. But you have to make tough calls and tough decisions at times. With the squad that we have, it's stacked. You have to choose one. And would I put Camavinga at left back just to shoehorn Bellingham in or shoehorn Arda Güler in? Absolutely not. Make a choice. Choose one and Goulet can come on or Bellingham can come on and you can rotate and you can interchange game after game and decide what's better. For this game, I've got Goulet. It could be Bellingham. I don't really know. I was just kind of lazy to change it. To be honest, I think Bellingham had a very good game against Monaco. So did Goulet. But for me, taking out a natural left back to put Camavinga there just to play two of our attacking midfielders sounds crazy. And it shouldn't happen. So, I don't see that happen. And again, Mastantuono has to start. I don't care what anyone says. He brings so much balance and a breath of fresh air on the right. I'm not saying Rodrigo is a terrible player. I'm not saying Brahim Diaz is a terrible player. They are good players. But they are fairly similar in terms of the right footers. They want to cut in on their right foot, right? And they can do stuff with their left foot, of course. But Mastantuono is predominantly a left footer. So he likes to cut in on his left and maybe hit a cross in like he did for Bellingham at the end of the first half against Monaco. Or likes to take a shot, a curl effort. Or he can cut on his right foot that he's got the goal with and he can maybe put a cross with his right or score a goal with his right. You know, he's more versatile in terms of using both feet and trying to create. Rodrigo, like I said, can use both feet, but his style of play, the way he runs at the defenders, the way he tries to dribble, it's very predictable, and we don't need that. We need a lot more balance in terms of not having just everyone have the same type of play style, but have more balance. Have a left footer on the right to try to cut in on his left foot. And right now, he is the best right winger at the club. Period. Rodrigo never wanted to play on the right. So I discard him from the right wing conversation. He is on the left wing conversation. Now Vini Jr. is picking up form. I don't see him benched anytime soon. But Rodrigo's going to have to work his way back in on the left, I think. So here's the thing with Arbeloa. He does not have the I don't want to say balls because that's very disrespectful. But with Xabi Alonso, he was ruthless. I think that's a better word. Ruthlessness. Xabi Alonso knew that after a couple of months he had to be ruthless. He had to be. Now, there was two decisions by him not to start Mastantuono that made me confused. But things like Camavinga, Tchouaméni as the double pivot, Carreras at left back, although there were still times he was playing centre back for whatever reason. I hope Arbeloa is as ruthless, if not even more. Carreras only left back, Camavinga, Tchouaméni has to be the double pivot, one of Bellingham or Goulet, and Mastantuono has to play on the right, and Vini Jr. has to fight with Rodrigo for the left. Simple. You have a much more balanced team in general. Is it the best team he can have? No. But is it the best team he has right now? Yes. So here's the thing with me. That's how I see it. But let me know what thoughts are down below. Finally, score predictions. I'm going to go Villarreal 1, Real Madrid 2. I think it will be a tight game. I think Real Madrid will come through though. And hopefully, we put more pressure on Barcelona. Who do they play actually? Let me have a look. I mean, it shouldn't bother us too much. They play. It's Real Oviedo at home. What an easy game that is. Yeah, so it's not gonna be a game that they lose for sure. Um, and in fact, their upcoming games as well are pretty decent. I mean, they do play Atletico Madrid away in April, but apart from that, their upcoming games are okay. I mean, it's Real Oviedo at home. They've got Elche next weekend. Um, Mallorca, Girona, Levante, Villarreal, Athletic Club. Like these games seem very easy, and Athletic Club have been terrible. They really have been. So yeah, um, that's that I suppose. But yeah, let me know what thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's now 4:23 a.m. Uh, yeah, no, it's not 4:23. It's 4:03. I'm seeing things. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Hit the state, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.